Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Let's go for lesson 8, the scales of word. Wazn. In Arabic, the original letters of nouns and verbs are not less than 3. So it's at least 3 or more. The letters of nouns and verbs. The maximum number of letters in a noun is 5 and 4 in a verb. So maximum numbers of letters in a noun is 5 and maximum number of letters in a verb is 4. Together with the original letters and extra letters, with the original letters, extra letters can be attached. At such a time, the noun, the verb can have more than 5 letters. So the nouns will have base letters of 5 of them at max, and verbs can have max base letter of 4 original letters. But along with that, there could be extra additional letters. They could be attached to make the noun and the verb longer, bigger. The original letter, or the root letters basically, is the one that remains in all the forms and derivations. Only in some exceptions is it deleted or changed to another letter. So we've been saying fa'ala, samia, daraba, all of these are the original letters. They're always going to be there, with the exception in some cases that it may be deleted or changed into something else. The extra letter is the one that is found in one word form but not in another. Example, in the word hamdun, all 3 letters are root letters, while in hamidun, the alif and in mahmudun, the first meme and the waw are extra letters. So let's see what they're talking about. So hamdun, fa'ala. Hamdun is in the form of fa'ala, let's say. So it's ha is fa kalma, and mim is ain kalma, and dal is lam kalma. There are rulers. Hamidun over here we have ha, alif, mim, and dal. So it's 4 letters. Among these 4 letters, we could take the form of fa'ilun. Again, if you take fa'ilun, say fa is ha, ain is mim, and lam is dal. So there's an extra alif, that's the extra letter. And in mahmudun, it is in the form of maf'ulun. So if you write down maf'ulun, so you'll know that maf'ulun. So those 3, ha, mim, and dal, those are the actual letters. And the first meme and the second meme, they are first meme, second meme. Actually, the first meme and wow, they are the extra letters. Words having 3-letter roots are called thulasi, thulathiyun. Example are farasun, daraba, and sami'a, fa'ala. We have gone through hundreds of those. If they have 4-letter words, if they have 4 root letters, then they're called ruba'iyun, ruba'i, or thulathi. Thulathi is for 3 root letters, and ruba'i for 4 root letters. Examples is filfilun, dahraja. We have done dahraja in easy etymology. Dahraja. So that's a 4-letter ruba'i. If they have 5 root letters, they are called khumasiyun. Example, safarjala. Words made up of only root letters are called mujarrad. So if a word or the words or the derivations, they are made out of 3 letters only, 3 root letters, or actually root letters only, whether it's 3, 4, or 5, they're going to be called mujarradun or mujarrad. While those letters or those words that have extra letters, they're called mazid fi. So mujarrad and mazid fi. Kibrun is thulasi because it has 3 letters and it comes from fi'lun. So kibrun, thulasi mujarrad, thulasi, original 3 root letters, and these are in the original, they only have root letters without any extra letter. That's kibrun, so it's thulasi mujarrad. Takabbarun, takabburun comes from tafa'ulun. So there's a extra letter. Actually there's 2 extra letters. So tafa'ulun comes from tafa'ulun, fa'ala. So there's the extra ba and there's extra ta. The first ta and the ba has a tajdeed, so that's an extra also. This is sulasi mazid fi. So the root letters are 3, that's why it's sulasi, but there are 2 extra, that's why it's mazid fi. It's not mujarrad. It's not only the root letters, but there's extra. To distinguish, so that ta and one of the bars over here. Now, to distinguish the whether verbs if'alun, derived nouns, asma'un mushtaqatun. These are nouns that are derived from verb. Example, fa'ilun and maf'ulun are derived from the verb fa'ala. Plural of, okay. To distinguish whether verbs af'alun, asma'un mushtaqqa, and verbal nouns, masadiri, plurals of masdar, the infinitive, are mujarrad or mazid fi. The wahid mudhakkar ghaib, the wahid mudhakkar ghaib word form of the perfect tense al-madi has to be examined. If that word, the word form is free of extra letters, then its derivatives and the verbal noun will also be regarded as mujarrad. Example, they're saying that because letters could have many different forms, whether it's af'alun, masadiruf, fa'ilun, how do you know if they are whether they have extra letters or not? So you have to look into the perfect tense, the mazi perfect tense, madi perfect tense. So let's see, nasara is sulasi mujarrad, no doubt about that. Hence the imperfect tense al-mudari, which is yansuru, ismul fa'il, nasirun, ismul maf'ul, mansurun, and the verbal noun nusratun will also be regarded as sulasi mujarrad, although these forms have extra letters. Okay, so there more clarity. So if'alun or af'alu, we have to see what is this based off of. This is based off of fa'ala. The very root of it is from fa'ala. That's why no matter what form it is in, it will still, fa'ala was mujarrad, sulasi mujarrad. So this will also be considered as mujarrad. Verbal nouns masadiri, masdar. So masdarun, the plural of masdar, because masdar is sulasi mazid fi, because there's 4 letters. Then it will, the masadir will also be a mazid fi. Hence the imperfect tense al-mudari. Okay, we've done that. So because the nasr is the base, whether we're in yansuru or nasirun or mansurun or nusratun, all of these will be considered as sulasi mujarrad because the base of all of these came from nasara. Similarly, in a paradigm, extra letters appear in mujarrad word, which will still remain mujarrad. For example, the word rajulun is mujarrad. Therefore, same thing happened in nouns. Rajulani, rijalun will also be mujarrad. I see. So even in nouns, the base is mujarrad. Different forms of that base will also be mujarrad. However, kabbara right here, you know that this is not fa'ala. This is fa'ala with 2 ayns, meaning there's one extra ayn, one extra zaid over here, mazid fi. So it's a sulasa mazid fi. And akrama right here, af'ala. There's a sulasi mazid fi over here too. There's sulasi mazid fi. The former has one extra ba. First one has a ba because the ba has tajdeed. And af'ala, this one has an extra alif. Akram has extra alif. So if we take akrama, akrama, akramu, akramat, akramat, akramata, akramna, and so on, all the other forms, kabbara, yukabbiru, takbiran, akrama, yukrimu, ikraman, all of these forms are also going to be sulasi mazid fi because the base are mazid fi. in order to determine the scales of words and to distinguish the root letters from the extra letters, the scale Mizan of fa'ala is used. In trilateral or sulasi words, sulasi root letters, sulasi words, the fa represents the first radical. Okay, we got that. So fa'ala, fa'ala, first ayn is the second radical and lam is the third radical. Examples. So we're always going to try to base it with fa'ala because that's the most common scale. So fa'ala, qalama, katifun, fa'ilun, adudun will come fa'ulun, kalbun will come from fa'lun. The letter that corresponds to fa, as the mizan is called, fa kalma. So fa kalma, we'll just call it fa kalma. Qaf is fa kalma. Lam is ayn kalma. And mim is obviously lam kalma. But probably they say fa'ul kalima. Fa'ul kalima, aynul kalima, but we just say fa kalma, ayn kalma for ease of pronunciation. While the letter corresponding lam, okay. When intending to determine the scale of ruba'iyun, quadrilateral, of four-letter words, add 2 lam instead of 1 after fa and ayn. Okay, so quadrilaterals are the for the ruba'is add 2 lam. So instead of fa'ala, it will be fa'alala, or that's okay. Good right here. So ja'fara will be fa'alalun. So it's not, if it's 4, the base is still gonna be fa'ala. How do you put the 4? The fourth one, add an extra lam. So fa'alalun, and to try to scale it up, match it up. Safara jala will be fa'alalun. So this is 3 of them. In the words with 5 letters, add 3 lams. Okay. So with rubai, add 2 lams instead of 1 after the fa and ayn kalma. In the words with 5 letters, add 3 lams. So safaru jala will be fa'allala. So this is a very, very, very important rule. Very important rule. I was myself confused for a while on this. So make sure you understand this. And so for rubai, to scale it with rubai words, put 2 lams. And with the khumasi, with the 5-letter words, root letters, add 3 lams to make this word match up to the scale. At the time of determining the scale, the alphabets fa'ala will take the place of the original letters, while the other extra letters will remain as they are in their places. So kibrun fi'lun, kabirun, again kabirun comes from fi'lun, so fa'ala. If you look at it in this form, so ka is ka, and then ba is over here, ba, and then you have your ra is right here, ra. So ka is the fa kalma, it will be fa, and then ba is the ayn kalma, it is right here, kabi, and the ra, because in the original form it was the ayn kalma, it is still going to carry on that habit. So ra, even in this word, although there's a ya in between, it's not going to be, ya is not going to be lam kalma. The lam kalma is still going to be the ra, although it moved from its original position. So likewise, akbara will come from af'alu. Akbaru from af'alu, fa'ala. Takbirun right here, because it is from that same form again, so we're going to look for that kabara. So that's the fa kalma, ayn kalma, and ra kalma. In this one, the kaf over here was in the first kalma, it moved to the second position, and ayn kalma is in the third, and lam kalma is in the fifth position. However, when a letter is increased by repeating the ayn kalma or the lam kalma, when a letter is increased by repeating the ayn kalma, like in tajdeed or something, or the lam kalma, the ayn and lam is repeated in the scale. For example, in the word kabbara, kabbara, the first ba is the ayn kalma, while the second one is extra. Okay, so rule number 4 said, determine the skill. The fa'ala will take place of the original letters, while the other extra remain as they are in their places. This one says, second part of the rule, when the letter is increased by repeating the ayn or the lam kalma. Ayn and lam, not the fa. Ayn and lam kalma. Then the first is the ayn and lam kalma is repeated in the scale. Increased by repeating the ayn or the lam is repeated in the scale. For example, so kabbara, the first ba is ayn kalma and the second is extra. So kabbara, ka is kaf is fa, and first ba is ayn kalma, and the second ba is an extra, and ra is the lam kalma. According to the rule, the scale should have been fa'bala. Okay, so scale should have been fa'bala. Fa'bala. Kabbara, fa'bala. But instead the scale is fa'ala. Similarly, the word ihmarra, the final ra is extra. Its scale will be regarded as if'alla. A great benefit of recognizing the scales of words is that by knowing the meaning of the root letters of the word, it becomes very easy to recognize the meanings of all its paradigms and derivatives. So that's definitely helpful. Like by knowing, if we're given istansara, right, the base is nasara, you know that it's going to be related to some form of help. Exercise number 7. What are the scales of the following words? Okay, so let's rajulun, fa'ulun, sulasi mujarrad, sharafun, again fa'alun, it is also sulasi mujarrad. Sharifun comes from the second one, so it is sulasi mazid fi, because there is an extra ra over here. So sharifun comes from fa'ilun, that wasn't scale. Ashrafun, af'alun, so af'alun, the sharafa is the base, so it is khumas, actually sulasi mazid fi, 3 root and 2 extra. Malikun, fa'ilun, sulasi mujarrad. Mulukun comes from again malikun, so it will be malaka, it is sulasi mazid fi. Rahmun comes from fa'lun, just say scale, so let's just do the sulasi mujarrad. Rahimun comes from rahmun, so it is sulasi mazid fi. Rahmanun sulasi raha ma, mazid fi, extra alif and extra noon. Fa'lalun, rahimun, rahmanun. Fa'lalun. So actually, I think this is rubai. If that is the case, so fa'lalun. So fa'ala, rahma. The base is rahma. So it's rubai mazid fi. Fa'lalun. The alif after the meme is the zaid, extra. Karamun, fa'alun. Sulasi mujarrad. Karimun, karama. So it's sulasi mazid fi. Sulasi mazid fi, kiramun. Ilmun comes from fi'lun. Number 13. Ilmun comes from fi'lun, sulasi mujarrad. Alimun, same, alama comes from fa'ilun, it is sulasi mazid fi. 13 is sulasi mujarrad. 14 is sulasi mazid fi. 15 ulama'u, it is a plural of alimun, derived from alima or ilmun, so it is also sulasi mazid fi. We're here alama, the alif here and the hamza at the end, these two are the mazid fi letters. Alimuna, same thing, because it is derived from alima, which is the madi. So alima, so became alimuna. So it is also sulasi mazid fi. 3 root letters and extras with extras. Aqraba, Again, number 16 was actually let's do the scale from 13. فعل فاعل فعلاء. And number 16 is فاعلون. Number 17 is فعلل. So this is أقرب فعلل. This is رباعي مجرد فعلل. غضنفر فعلل. غضنفر فعلل. So this is فعلل, 3 lams. So that means this is a khumasi, 5-letter word, 5-letter mujarrad. 19. علامة فعالة. It is from alima, so it is sulasi mazid fi. Allamun fa'alatun, right? Because ayn kalma is repeated. The first ayn is first lam is the ayn kalma, and the second is the mazid. Allamatun fa'alatun, same. It is still sulasi mujarrad, sulasi mazid fi, because first lam is the ayn kalma, second lam is the zaid extra. Ta'lilun comes from fa'lilun. Alimun, likewise, same thing. It is also sulasi mazid fi. Takabburun, kabara. So ba is the extra, repeating. So it is still from kibrun. So it is still going to be sulasi mazid fi. Tafa'ulun, mutakabbirun, same thing. Mutakabbirun, mutakabbirun, mutafa'ilun. I'm not sure about this. Mutakabbirun hum takbira kabara. So it is kabara. It is fa'ala. I mean, it is the sulasi. It is sulasi mazid fi, I believe. Ikramun, akrama. So it is sulasi mazid fi also. Comes from akrama. So base has sulasi mazid fi, so it is in a different form. It is also sulasi mazid fi. And that's the end of lesson 8. The most important lesson in lesson 8 was here. When intending to determine the scale for rubai letters, add 2 lams instead of 1 after the fa and ayn, and in the 5-letter roots add 3 lams. So try to understand this and practice with it, and I'll see you guys inshallah next time. Assalamu alaikum.